I'm gonna stop. No, fuck that fight. Fuck that fight. We welcome you.
Everybody's outraged, right?
Hell yeah.
These Negroes gotta go, right?
Hell yeah.
All right.
But this is one of the major tenets, one of the major issues, one of the major focus of Black Lives Matters, the question of reparations. We talk about it, we emphasize it, we focus on it, because we are owed that reparations. Whatever exists in this country, we built.
Forever.
We the only people who could take some ugly crop shoes and make them a thing. So that shows how our emphasis is. Once again, we want to welcome you to the Center for Black Power. We want to remind you that we have a tradition about calling people in as opposed to calling people out.
It's a video on Instagram of when the guy was coming to put the paper out for secret. And I was just happening to stand there looking at my phone and see the dude. And this is my fourth time seeing the same guy put eviction notices on different places. But I get the bad rap. They just think I'm pressing this dude. Now, this is the fourth time. You got a smug look and smug attitude every time. So me personally, I pressed the dude. Like I actually told him, like, get away from you. We don't want to see you. Y'all send somebody else. Not you, but the person. But in the comments, a lot of people here, I'll get toe up in the comments. But a lot of the times I'm out here, being around here with me, when they tried to bring the police over here to have the kids clean the park up, they had 40 from the FBI, 40 from the sheriff, and 40 from the L.A.P. He didn't know yet. I dove out there. So the moment he seen me, he got on the phone, it's him. Well, outside my lady gang, sister came out there with me. The press, same thing. That's the bad rap. Look at him. We're going to lose our contract. He's pressing the police. Yeah, see, they just killed my little brother and gave me answer. So how they going to clean up our park and mysteriously find something? And they fundraised. They wasn't here as the police. They was here as a nonprofit fundraiser and a nonprofit. So people don't understand that part. They get at me like, loudmouth, whatever I am, I'm here to put it. And I'm going to always be in on the hard for whatever the cause is. Because I study and I've been around here sharper than what a lot of people have been here every day. Perfect attention. Perfect attention. A lot of stuff they don't know, I'm here. That's the person that knows more than anybody in the school. That's always there. I'm always here. I'm telling you, you can always find me if y'all need help. How that feel?
No, you don't have to go. Y'all might have to put him out. Put him out.
I'm gonna stop. No, fuck that fight. Fuck that fight. We welcome you. Come on, stop. We welcome you to the Center for Black Power. Everybody, bring it back. Please. We welcome you. We sponsored this event. And we talked about, we call people in because we call them out. And so we're going to, one mic, please. Everybody, one mic. Hold
Order, y'all. All right, put some grown-ass black people up in here. So let's get some order, please. We need some order, please. Order, please. And we turn that down, please. Turn it down, please. Please, turn it down. Thank you.
You have to say something, please go outside, but we are trying to hear.
Yeah.
If you need to say something, please step outside. But now you're disrupting the meeting. And then people drove from all around to hear it tonight.
That's right.
And we're going to respect the fact that all of us are here, but we want to find out what we're doing next. So again, the brother chose to come show up, face the community, so let's hear what he got to say.
That's right.
Y'all know me a long time. I showed up by myself.
Quiet! He's speaking. I want to hear what he has to say.
Thank you.
I showed up by myself because I don't hide from my place. They started you. When I saw this was happening, even though I got married like yesterday, I told my new wife I had to be there. And we rolling solo. It's been a hard year in the Capitol, and I know you all feel that. I had no problem with any of these bills. The problem was raised a few days before in the caucus. There's been fractures between community and the caucus. And some of us have tried to bridge those. Chris has done a fantastic job, by the way. I haven't seen somebody in Sacramento that frequently, that often, with multiple organizations approaching the consistent message. You see there with AR Chiefs, it's still pushing the message. And every time I see Chris or anybody else, I make space and I make time. For me, what happened at the end of the session, the first thing I want to say in the article is going to come out tomorrow. Like I said, I got married. I didn't stop this racist motherfucker on the floor. That's not how you move motions. And I know we got some Sacramento people who know you don't walk up to the front. I wasn't even talking to him. He had already been ruled by the Speaker Pro Tem as dilatory. He wasn't allowed to speak on anything else because he was trying to stop the last 100 bills from going through. If he could delay till midnight, 100 bills would have died. One of those bills penalizes the Inglewood oil field and creates a community fund that can only be spent within 2 miles of the field. That's right here. That's a $20 million fund. That was still on the table. He was trying to stop everything in the house, and there's plenty of videos of that. And we'll make sure they get out there, but I've been busy. I was getting married, so I wasn't going to defend myself. If you want to come, you can come. I won't take. I told Marcus this when he was up there. I signed up for this. There was a day when I used to be banging on the doors too. I remember yelling at Mayor Garcetti in 2020 in May. I remember being out here with all of you many, many times over on many, many issues. But I signed up to be inside out. But I ain't never forgot. When the stuff happened, I started trying to win my column. No, I would never second Bill Saley on anything like that. Never ever. And if you want to second Bill Saley on something, I encourage you to look at this man's background. For us, you had to have the majority of the caucus in the play. Otherwise, it's only going to fracture us more. So I told Senator Bradford and I told community the second fracture started that we have to whip 7. There's 12 members of the caucus. You got to whip 7. We could not get to 7. So the choices for me were either roll all of my caucus mates, so I have to build it next year, and stand with the most racist person in the assembly who's trying to use this to wedge our community.
Don't gaslight us.
All right, one mic, y'all. Please. Hold on.
Or encourage solidarity. Encourage solidarity amongst my colleagues, encouraging growth and learning from my colleagues, and encourage solidarity with community. Because we fractured from the start this year. And we can't come back next year fractured. Not the members of the caucus and not the caucus as an entity in the community. We got to tighten it up.
So what we're going to do is we're going to let Isaac finish. Then we're going to have the individuals who were updated and more so witness what actually happened to maybe raise some questions with Isaac. Then we'll open it up for community. But again, shouting out and going back and forth, that's not going to work because we are not going to be able to hear everything. So we're going to let Isaac finish first. Then we're going to get to organizers who are up there.
First of all, everybody who came up, whether we get along or not, whether you've been shooting the last few days or not, we are all needed in this work. And I'm glad you were there, and we need more people there next year. We need more people during more of the process, because the best thing that happened, even if it's at the caucus, it's expanded, is that California sees Black power. California has seen Black power for the first time in a long time. Sacramento doesn't respect Black folks the way the city of Los Angeles does. Thank you to the folks who did that, church. Thank you to the folks who made it your first time and you came up. We're going to keep doing this work. We have to keep doing this work. The last thing that I will say is the second there was a problem, I called my own emergency Zoom and said the same message. We have to whip the caucus. We have to get 7 members. I suggested Steve should apologize to folks. Whatever it takes to get 7, we have to get 7. So whoever's got a personal thing, I said, look, put it aside. We have to get 7. I tried to win people with just, this ain't our problem, put it on the governor's desk anyway. I tried whatever I could. I could not get to 7. We could not get to 7. And I was, also, so I'm gonna close it up right now by telling y'all a couple key things. I will never not show up. I will never not show up here. And the only reason, by the way, I'm in any of the pictures is because I went to the gate. I didn't hide from folks. I got off the elevator and I went to the gate. Because I'm never going to leave this jam or anybody else being on the other side of the gate without at least acknowledging you're here and trying to tell people I think we can do. We've got a lot of work to do. We've waited a long time for this. We've made major progress. We have a lot more we got to do. And we have to just keep pushing. But at the start of the legislative cycle, we have to put it together. It's got to be together.
Hold down, y'all.
All right, look, we have at least an hour left, so we are going to get to everybody's questions, so don't nobody get too anxious. We'll let everybody questions. We're going to start with our brother Marcus with CJEC, and again, we're going to let all the organizers up here, whether you want to respond to what I just said or share what you saw up there. Brother Marcus with CJEC.
Let them speak, please.
One mic.
Hold on. Come on, y'all. Come on, please.
So
Quiet, please.
I want to ask everybody a question real quick. So, is reparations the most important legislation for our people in the history? Yes. Okay, so I want everybody to realize something. Everybody heard Assemblymember Bryan just say that they asked Senator Bradford to apologize, right? So essentially, y'all just heard.
I asked him to apologize.
So he asked him to apologize. So what is being admitted right here, which what we've known for over a year, because we've been talking to these folks, that they let their personal beef and grudges, right, with Senator Bradford stop the most important legislation. So I want to tell you about something else. Let me tell you something else. Because it's a whole lot that happened that day. It's a whole lot that's happened across this past year. What y'all saw in that video was actually the second time that he said he got up. So I'm gonna lay out the whole scenario for y'all. So what Assemblymember Bryan just said is that he was trying to whip the caucus to bring the votes. So he couldn't get the caucus to bring the bill up. So it said he went up. That was the second time. The first time he went up, he made a motion for AB 1331 to be heard. He did not get a second. So what happened was, Assemblymember Bryan, if you couldn't bypass the caucus, if they wouldn't bring it, that was your chance to second the motion. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who does our shit for us. It just matters. It just matters that the legislation goes through. I don't care if some Republicans trying to clout chase off the moment if reparation goes through. So that's what happened. The second time when y'all see him up there, what actually happened is that the assembly, by way of the CLBC, violated assembly rules and put both Bradford's bills to the inactive status. And so what assembly was actually trying to do, assembly actually came out, showed us the assembly rule book where they violated protocol. So what assembly was trying to do right there was to appeal the motion to bring the bills back off the inactive file. And that's what you saw in that video right there. So all this shit we hearing from the CLBC, we know what actually went down. We've been meeting with every single one of the CLBC members for the past year. And since Bradford gutted and amended his bill last August, the first thing that came out of all their mouth is Bradford didn't do this the right way. That's why if you go on the California Legislative website right now and bring up SB 1403,
you'll see the bill was introduced because the video cut off before it showed it. SB 1403 was introduced in February. The California Legislative Black Caucus didn't sign on as co-authors until May. Either way, their press release said they weren't able to participate in the legislative process. How are you not able to participate in the legislative process for a bill that was written last August, that was introduced in February, that you signed on as co-authors for in its final form in May? We tired of this shit.
One of the biggest slaps in the face was that 3 days before this bill was killed, another bill was approved giving loans of $150,000 to people that did now coming to this country. And we're seeing all across the country that there are several programs being put out to accommodate folks who are coming from other areas where also our tax dollars are being used to create wars that are forcing those people over here.
Right.
So we, the African Town Coalition, back in February, we weren't pleased when we heard the bills from the beginning. Because it didn't sound like reparations, it sounded like a new welfare program. You know, the right to wear our hair when we go work for mass and all this whole crazy crap. Even apology, some of y'all want an apology, some of them don't give a damn about an apology. Because they don't get us off the street, that don't pay our mortgage, that don't pay our rent, that don't help give us businesses. So we heard one of the individuals who stood from the beginning against any real type of monetary reparation, any type of land, was Reggie Jones Sawyer. And we heard he was trying to come to the 10th district during the primaries. So we did our best to make sure he couldn't come over here to the 10th district. He actually ended up coming in last place. So that's part of the power that we have when these individuals think they're going to be career politicians by doing this dirty. We actually have a power to bring all that to an end. So that's one of the things we're looking at today. What exactly are we going to do about the 10 who didn't step up for us?